Yeah. So, ma'am, another question is, as we are freshers, so we always look for making a very good first impression or a lasting impression. And this process, we tend to urge to take up every task we are given, and we don't say no. So, saying no is actually difficult. So, what do you suggest? How can we learn to say no to our managers or to our upper level people who we report to?
So I think this interaction has been wonderful, and the time is kind of up. Is it okay if we take this question next time and I don't answer this question right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you be fine? No. I just said no to you. I just said no to you. But I gave you a reason. And I asked for your permission. And then you accepted it. I mean, we have the time. I will explain this to you. But saying no is very important. Extremely important. Otherwise, you'll get burnt out. But how you say no is important. You make a point, give a reason, explain the reason, and then make a point again. You can say no. What are the situations where you would like to say no? Let's say I'm hiring you and I'm asking you that you will have to do this. And you are thinking that, oh, this is not what I know. This is not what I'm here for. And I want to say no, but you're unable to say no. You say, well, I would love to do this. I would be delighted to do this. I would be very happy to do this. However, this is not my expertise area. This is not something that I'm very comfortable with. This is not something I have done a lot. And hence, I would be really grateful if you can give me XYZ. So you're not only saying no, but you're also asking for what you want.
Sometimes doesn't that come across as I'm not open to learning? They know from my CV that this is something I've been already working on and they are offering me something different. If I say no to it, doesn't it come across as if I'm not open to learning?
It may, provided you are a person who's very sure of some things that you don't want to do. If you're open to learning, if today I throw something at you and say, Vishnupriya and Sakshi, I want you guys to do this. Okay? Please take care of this for the next 2-3 days. And you're like, oh, where did this come from? This is not digital marketing. This is not social media marketing. And why is she asking us to do this? Right? So you could either say no to me or you could take up that project. And at the end of 3rd day, you will say, hey, we learned something new. Having said that, if you didn't want to do this at all, then you would have to come up and say no to me. So I'm not saying say no. I always told you that attitude is very important, and attitude is that I want to work, I want to learn, I'm here to work with people. So that attitude you have to bring in. But I'm saying if you just don't want to do something, you have to be able to stand up and speak up and say no. So having said that, as a fresher, yes, you should be open to a lot of things. If they are related to what you want to do, what you want to learn, please go for it. But it's totally different. It will burn you out eventually, because you will always feel that this is not something I wanted to do. This is not something I'm enjoying. This is not something I came here to do. So then you will be doing this kind of rumination. There's no point. Either you take it, accept it, make it yours, and do it well. And if you don't want to, say no.
And the next question is regarding networking. So even when we join our MBA program, the first thing that we are told is that here you will meet a lot of people. Try to make the most of it, network as much as you can. But how can we actually build networks with the kind of people we want to work with in future? LinkedIn is one platform, and we keep on sending endless connection requests to people who may or may not accept, and that does not get further into a conversation. So how do we really build the meaningful, valuable network?
Next question. What is network for you? What is networking? I mean, we hear this word very often. In your definition, what is networking?
Building relationships.
Knowing people, enough people.
Okay, building relationships, and one is saying building relationships with enough people. Okay, so is that what you call as a network?
Ma'am, if we have a need or something, we should have the right kind of person in our network to reach out to. We should be knowing as many people from as many fields to be of help for us when maybe we are in need, and we can be of help to them when they need.
So when you need someone, that person should be there in your network. What about the need of that person?
Yes, I mentioned that also. So if we have a vast network and they know what is our area of expertise, they will know whom to reach out to.
So when you reach out to them, do you say that this is something I can do for you?
Not always, because always we are not intending to do something for them at that moment.
So then you are not networking. Because networking is reaching out to people and showing to them and telling them that you are there to help them. You can do something for them. That's how the net is created. And once you network in this manner, the net will work for you. But if you have a network only to reach out and say, hey, you know what? I'm this, I do this. So what? What's in it for me? There's nothing in me, nothing in it for me. So then why would I care about you? Why would I have you in my network? It doesn't work. So if you want to create a network, you have to be able to give. You should have something to give to everyone. And if you're not a giver, you will not get back. As simple as that. So it's not like, oh, what this person can do for me. It's like, what can I do for him? Don't be afraid in asking, what can I do for you? I'm so and so, I'm a digital marketing expert. Is there anything I can do to help you? Even if it means that, okay, they come back and say, well, can you write a blog for me? Can you write a post for me? Can you do this for me? Be willing to do that. Any good deed will never go unnoticed. All I'm trying to say is that if you are only asking, building, just having a lot of people in your connections as connections is not your network. This is not how you create a network. Network is created only when you're willing to give. If you have anything at all, be willing to give that. Your time, your expertise, your any kind of help, and that's how the net is created. See, we are dealing with human beings, right? Everyone we deal with are human beings. And human beings are filled with feelings and emotions and always trying. Everyone is looking at how somebody can help me. So if you become that person, you will always be remembered in a positive way. And then you can reach out to that person. I mean, I know some people who are totally master networkers in the sense that they have this huge net and they're willing to spend their time on that net. There are times when these people get burnt out. They don't have the time, they don't have the strength to do it. But there is an intent to go and help others. Now, if you have friends and somebody says, oh, I have my birthday, come over. I have this, please come over. You'll say, yaar, itni dur kaun jayega? Who will go so far? You've just lost one person. When
It
they
happens with us very often.
Yeah, I know. It has happened with me also. When they need you, are you there? It is time taking. It is, all of this whole relationship building, networking. It requires effort, serious intent. You have to invest into these relationships. That's when you do network. That's how your network will increase and will work for you. I hope I've answered your questions. Anything else?
Yeah, and so as we are talking about time, so time management is something we all struggle with. So can you share some practical tips on how we can manage our time and prioritize the tasks in the corporate environment?
Well, we have a timesheet. How are you managing that timesheet?
Pretty well.
Okay. So then is that a good way of doing it, that you put your time, you time your day, time your tasks. What you take first is the most important and the urgent one, and then the less important, less urgent, and so on and so forth. But there are a lot of distractors throughout the day. whether it's Instagram or anything else. There are a lot of distractions. Now, how to get rid of those distractions while you're at work is by telling yourself again and again, I'm here to do my job and I want to do it well. And this is something I have to keep aside for my free time. You can take breaks in the daytime, in the entire day, but you have to focus on what's on your plate for the day and finish that before you can get to. I know it's easier said than done, but I'm sure Nainika can help you if you can take coaching from her on time management. She will do she'll give you a great session on how you can manage your time in your professional world. And it will help you in your personal world as well. But this is not something that I can answer right away, because for me, whatever is urgent and important, I put it in my calendar on a daily basis. And once it's on the calendar, I try to just stick to it. There are times I slip, but then I keep coming back. And at the end of the day, I feel very good that, okay, whatever was on the list, I've achieved it. So if you don't put it, if there's no to-do list, and you haven't timed it, then there are good chances that you will slip on what you want to achieve in your daytime. So you have to time also. You not only have to do put it on the to-do list ABC, but you also have to time it. That I'm going to put so much time on this, so much time on this, so much time on this, and then by the end of the day you say, well, I did so much. You feel good, right?
Ma'am, coming back to the dressing part, you mentioned a case in Amity where a student refused to transform only for an interview. So this kind of a crisis we also face. So in the daily life, we are also not used to wearing formals, and there is a personal style that we have. And then for the corporate, we have to completely adapt to what is the organization standard. So does it, somehow let go of the person that we are? Is it the right thing to do, to completely change ourselves to fit into a setting or environment? Is it the right thing to do?
Okay, I like the question. The typical millennial question. Where all the youngsters ask these days, oh, this is me, why do I have to do things according to others? I think it's like it's a role you're playing, right? When you play a certain role, you have to get into the role. And to get into the role, you have to have the costume right, the intention right, the body language right, the behavior right, because it's a particular role that you're playing. And this is the role you're playing throughout the day. Most of the time of your life will be spent at work. Right? And careers are important for us. And if you're choosing to work in a particular career, in a particular organization, then you have to not fit into their dress culture. You have to fit into what you have chosen for yourself. So please, first of all, understand this is not me versus them. This is us. So the moment you sign up and take up a job, it becomes your job and that company becomes your company. So it's not me versus them. If you don't want to work there, choose a job which does not require you to wear a suit. As simple as that. But if you have signed up for it, then you do what is the right thing to do. So you have to not fit into that. I would say you have to blend in. You have chosen to conform. See, all these army officers, they choose to wear the uniform. I have done so many sessions for Maruti as an organization, and they all wear uniforms. And I've done sessions for them how to look great in the uniform, where everybody is wearing the same uniform day in, day out. It is a respect that you have to have for the organization, for the culture, for the, for your own self, that you have chosen to be there. Nobody asked you at the gunpoint, come and work for us. You chose to work there.
What are some effective ways to communicate across different levels of corporate hierarchy, whether with supervisors or with peers or subordinates?
Okay. across all platforms, all levels, you have to communicate. The 2 or 3 things that I want to tell you is, number one thing is respect, mutual respect for all levels, either peer level, senior level, junior level. You have to have respect for each person, and you have to be empathetic, which means that if there will be a lot of conflicts when you're working together, different culture, different upbringing, different thought process, different ideas. So there will be conflicts, but how you will manage that is by being empathetic, which means that if Vishnupriya says something to me and I disagree with her, I will just not be aggressive towards her. I would say, okay, that's a great point, but I would try to understand where she's coming from before I can say that I don't agree with you. So empathy, assertiveness, I will speak up, but I will empathize.
Related to communication, we have a lot of group discussions during our selection process or routinely during class also. So one thing that we face is everybody is talking at the same time, and it's very difficult to get into that conversation and get a chance to speak, to say your point. You may have the most valid point, but you don't get the chance to speak. So how can we really make space for ourselves in that chaotic situation?
Yeah. So unfortunately, that's a war situation. And in a war situation, you have to be heard. So you put your hand up and say, may I? So you probably have to raise your voice a little bit, not like yelling, but you have to raise your voice and say, well, I have a point. Can I make that point? May I, please? Okay, and then make a point.
But ma'am, that won't put a wrong impression. Or an aggression kind of thing.
No, so I'm saying may I. May I is like seeking permission, and I'm putting my hand up and say, may I please, I have a very important point, please allow me to speak. And speak. You're claiming that time, claiming that space. You're allowed to do that. I'm saying don't yell, but be assertive, have that, control in your voice. So you're putting your hand up, which is the right way. You are asking for permission, may I? And you're saying, I have a very valid point. Please allow me to speak. Go ahead.
This has happened. We usually have a moderator who would not say anything during these 15 minutes. And all the other participants, because it's an interview, they want to make their best point. They would not care if this person is raising a hand or is tapping on the table to make a point. And the moderator will not interfere. And if you don't make space for yourself, you don't speak, you are out. So raising hands like a civilized person is not working in this scenario. Like during most interviews, this is what I have experienced.
I'm saying don't raise your hand, stand up and start speaking. Have that confidence, just stand up and start speaking. Go in front of the moderator, say I have a point and I have to make it. Smile at everybody, just have yourself heard. Claim your space, don't keep sitting there, don't thump on your table. Stand up. Don't put your hand up if that is not something that is seen by people. Just stand up and start speaking. Just smile at everybody so you're not aggressive. You're not coming across as an aggressive person. Thank you so much, Sakshi. Thank you so much, Vishnupriya. It was lovely talking to you both. And I wish you all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.